I think, going back to this analogy of operating systems, you have core developers who actually build the kernels and build the OS, and then you have Parachain developers, like application developers, people who actually build on top of that stuff. So I think, when you're thinking about being like a Parachain developer, you're really saying, hey, I have a product or I have an idea, I have a service, an application, any of those words, and I want to build it in a secure, decentralized way. I want to be able to build the application, but then be able to know that I can follow the principles of Web3. Now, in the past, before Polkadot, you would have to build your own blockchain. Building the code of a blockchain is like step 1 of 100 of actually launching a blockchain. Talking about minting a token, navigating all the security regulations, having to get a community of people to actually validate or, mine your network, being able to just handle the new technology stack, all that stuff. It's a lot of work, right? So one of the things we try to do with Polkadot is, hey, how much of that can we separate from you? And the idea basically is you just build the logic and we handle all the blockchain stuff for you. And that's what the Polkadot SDK along with Polkadot itself does. And so when we talk about, core developers versus Polkadot Parachain developers, we're really talking about, are you someone who's building these libraries, who's building the core blockchain, or are you someone who's building an application, a service for users? You can be a little bit in both areas. I don't think you have to necessarily choose one or the other, especially, if you are doing Parachain development, if you're doing some more hardcore ideas, you are going to go closer and closer to core development. You're going to want to be able to push ideas back to the core team. But I do think that, the level of knowledge you need to have about the deep stack as a Parachain developer is a lot higher, or you don't need the low level information to be able to build your applications. And that's great. We don't want people to feel that way. I guess that one more analogy would be like smart contract development is probably, again, even less knowledge than a Parachain development. Parachain is the next level, and then core development's even lower, right? So if you're starting on the journey, you've done smart contract development and you've hit the limits, Parachain development is a very natural next stop for you. And then as you get more comfortable with Parachain development, it will be almost natural that you start doing some core development as you push the boundaries further. One thing to remember about the Polkadot SDK is that, it's relatively new. It's a technology stack that's being used a lot, but it has plenty of room for maturity and growth. So, one of the things I really encourage for anyone breaking out into this space is not to think, hey, this is the tool as it is, I have to use it this way. It's the challenge. This is the tool as it is today. I want to use it in some other way. What would it look like to be able to build that in a reusable, modular way? And how can you contribute back to the Polkadot SDK to provide those functionalities? You're probably not the only person who wants to do something kind of unique, right?